Welcome to GamingLagg.com's initial Microsoft press conference reactions. I'm your host, Mike Chalice, and with me, the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
This is half the team. Obviously, we'll have a full podcast later tonight that we will record on the first 4 press conferences, but we wanted to try and get a short and sweet little reaction to some of the announcements we just heard minutes ago at the Microsoft press conference at E3. So we were expecting some things. How do you think it turned out as far in general, the overview, before we get into a few details?
Overview, Microsoft is actually giving Bethesda a run for their money.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Definitely after them coming up swinging, Microsoft had to swing for the fences as well.
The problem is that these press conferences are made so far in advance
that
they can't just be like, all right, we're going to actually show this because Bethesda just knocked it out of the park. So let's get right into it. They came out swinging with Halo 5. I was pretty sure that they did. The trailer was cool. It was a little underwhelming for me, to be completely honest with you. They are doing a different cooperative campaign, which is nice. Everybody has wanted that 4-player co-op for the entire campaign. You will be able to play as both teams with Commander Locke's team or Master Chief's blue team. They have the trailer revealed like completely rendered faces of Nathan Fillion playing, I can't remember what character he is, but
that was the only part of the Halo that actually was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. And I kind of felt that too. Like, it's more of the same from Halo 4. It's more, I do like, I shouldn't be so negative towards it, but because I do really like the co-op aspect of it. I like being able to jump in with 4 people, all be Spartans, not one person's a Spartan and the other ones are elites and stuff like that. I like that. But other than that, they announced Warzone, which looked like it was going to be like PvP meets PvE. It was going to be 24 players. There's going to be enemies, but you're also going to be able to have matches where you can kill each other. And it looks a little weird, but that's looking like what they're going for their big team battles. I'm sure they'll still have that too. All in all, Halo 5 honestly was one of the lower points of that press conference for me.
I wouldn't put it at the bottom, but
no,
definitely
not the bottom. For sure not the bottom, but it was one of the lower points.
Yeah.
And I think it's a testament to how Microsoft is evolving, because they do have a great lineup this holiday season. Now, there's going to be Halo fans that'll kill me for this, but in all honesty, the Halo 5 trailer, for each of them combined for probably 3 or 4 minutes, and then they completely disappeared. And then Phil Spencer comes back out. So my reactions to that are a little bit mediocre. But then Phil Spencer comes out and starts talking a little bit about hardware, and then drops a goddamn Thor's hammer and says Xbox One is finally going to be backwards compatible with Xbox 360 games. All the developers of the games have to do is authorize them to allow it. There is nothing to be done. You don't need to buy any accessories. You don't need to do anything. It will natively work as long as the developer has access to it or authorizes it. That is massive for future sales. I don't think it really plays into effect anybody who already has an Xbox One and still has their 360, but that is really going to bridge the gap for anybody who's still playing on 360 and wants an Xbox One and just is tired of not having enough games. That is genius move on their part.
Definitely. And they kept saying Holiday 2015, but I think Ubisoft inadvertently said the release date when they were talking about Rainbow Six.
Yes, and we will mention that really briefly. Thank you for that. The Division was at Microsoft's press conference. We're not really going to talk a lot about that because we're assuming we're going to get a metric shit ton of details at the Ubisoft conference later today. So with backwards compatibility, they also announced a new peripheral for the Xbox One and Windows 10 together called the Microsoft Elite controller, which looks bonkers ridiculous with 4 triggers on the bottom of the controller, completely customizable thumbsticks if you don't like the way that it's grooved. The D-pad has like 42 different directions it can go. You can set your triggers to hair triggers no matter what.
Yeah,
it is
never playing PvP on Xbox
never
again.
Never playing COD on them. But let's bring that up because COD was not at Microsoft's press conference.
It's going to be at PlayStation.
That is big. Then they moved on to Forza 6, and they had a stupid, beautiful car, but they showed a car that they're It's probably going to be on the cover of Forza 6. It's the new Ford GT.
Not probably.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee.
Is there really anything to say about Forza 6? Yes, it looks beautiful. It's always good.
Yeah.
It's never not going to be good.
No,
it's the epitome of driving games right now, and Gran Turismo will try and give them a run for their money, but they're so established at this point that I don't think they have a chance.
Gran Turismo can never.
I don't think so.
No.
Fable Legends was also shown off. This game, they're really just trying to battle into the market. This sort of kind of clashes a little bit with their Gigantic that they had, which is going to be for Windows 10 and Xbox exclusively, which is basically a third-person MOBA. They also have Smite. That genre is getting really crowded, so it hasn't impressed me since the first time they showed it off. It doesn't impress me now. They're really trying to go after Nintendo's marketing for it when they did Mario Party 10 for Bowser being the one you want to play. You want to be the evil guy.
Yeah.
But does that really, really entice you to play a bunch of generic Fable characters? One cool thing that's going to get them going for a little while is that it's free to play.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah. Then, to our heart's desires, Rise of the Tomb Raider had an excellent showing. It looks more beautiful than any Uncharted game I've ever seen, other than Uncharted 4. It is gorgeously done. The action is amazing. You can definitely see the evolution of Lara, where she's just taking initiative in the trailer and coming up with all these bonkers ways of getting out of harm's way. The trailer showed her and a partner. I think the partner was from the first game. I'm pretty sure.
I think he is. Yeah.
It's been a while since I played that. But they're climbing a mountain trying to get to this hidden city, and Lara gets to the top of the mountain, sees the hidden city, and then shit hits the fan. Everything starts to collapse, and anyway, she makes it out by the skin of her neck, obviously, and then gets caught in an avalanche as well. All crazy stuff. Looks beautiful. Crystal Dynamics is going to have another hit, I'm sure. Is unfortunate that they went the way of
timed exclusivity.
But it still says holiday. We did not get a delayed release date, so it looks like Matt will be buying Sam's copy of that game. And
that's fine.
It looks like they're going to have an uncontested game. Because Uncharted 4 was definitely going to be their competitor.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to worry about which one I'm going to play first. I'm just going to play this one, and then I am going to play Uncharted next year sometime.
It'll be uncontested, but I don't know if I'm going to have time for the games this holiday.
It's funny, too, because all these games that are coming out that you know and love and you're going to play, they just announce, and here it is. And you're like, yes. And then they're like, and it's 18 times bigger than the last one. And you're just like, oh, God, there's so much to do. Yeah. They did go over a little bit of HoloLens. It was very impressive tech. I don't know how much I'm into that. We figured out why they wanted Minecraft. Because they had amazing tech where this guy put Minecraft on a table and he was able to manipulate the world and build these things, and lightning strike to make zombie pigs and all this other stuff.
I didn't understand the zombie pigs, where they came from.
Yeah, me either.
Or how lightning makes a zombie pig.
We're not Minecraft players here, with the exception of Sam, who is not here, unfortunately. The tech is incredible, though. You can actually take this piece of tech and throw a screen up on any wall to play Minecraft, or you can put it on a table and play it 3D and stick your head in and look inside. And if other players are on your map, it doesn't matter. You can still. It's crazy. It's a very, very cool piece of technology.
Before you talk the next one, just because I didn't mention it during our Bethesda one, because it happened during Microsoft's. As usual, Microsoft will be getting some sort of exclusive along the universe
right.
there.
Yes, for Fallout 4. That's big. Yeah, go ahead.
Mods that are made on PC will be available on Xbox One.
So that's another step in the right direction for Microsoft, just making this seamless. And if this happens for games like GTA, nobody's going to buy them on PlayStation.
No.
Because mods make communities. Can you imagine Skyrim, like the next Elder Scrolls 6 comes out? The mods for Skyrim still have Skyrim as one of the most popular games on Steam. Yeah. And if you can play those on Xbox One, I'm getting it on Xbox One 1,000%, because those mods are very, very cool. Two things really quickly. Rare came, and the leaks were actually true. They are doing a Rare collection.
30 games for $30. 30
games for $30 or something like that. I'm assuming in Canada here it's going to be 50 probably.
Or 60.
Or 60 because nobody likes us. And that's going to have games like Battletoads and Perfect Dark and things like that. It's all going to be in one nice collection. Conker's Bad Fur Day as well. And then, instead of my prediction being a Banjo-Kazooie sequel, they're working on a brand new shared world adventure game that looks badass as all hell. I'm ready for this. It's called Sea of Thieves, and it is basically Pirates of the Caribbean MMO. You can play with your friends. It showed clips of being on a pirate ship. You can make one of your friends walk the damn plank. Sam is going overboard as soon as we get this game. You can have ship battles. You can explore islands. You can have chests where skeletons come to life. The possibilities look really, really cool. That was the highlight of the show for me. I would say tied with Tomb Raider probably, but this has a little bit more as far as fresh in my mind because it was a new IP.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to see. It looks amazing and a beautiful art style. And I know a thing or two about MMOs. I've played a lot of them. The ones that go for the realism don't tend to work out very well, or they're very glitchy. This is a artsy style, very much like World of Warcraft, or cartoonish, like WildStar, and those games run very, very well. So I'm very excited about this. Are you going to play with me?
I am going to play this.
Absolutely. Dibs on Captain.
Damn it.
And last but not least, we got what I wanted, which was not necessarily just Gears 4, but that is the title of the game that they went over. We got Gears 4, and it is a brand new cast of characters. Now, whether there is going to be mentions or actual, like, Phoenix is going to be in it is yet to be seen. Looks like different enemies, but a whole new cast of characters, which is great. They need a fresh start, and that's probably why they didn't call it Gears of War 4. It's called Gears 4. What do you think of that? I thought it looked beautiful. That would be second on my list after the tie between Sea of Thieves and Tomb Raider. That was a great way to end their show.
I've never been a Gears fan. A lot of people probably feel the same way towards me as they do about you with Fallout.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. I can definitely see that there will be a lot of hype on it. Where it's not coming out till next holiday 2016, they showed too much.
There for me, they did show too much. They showed probably about a 5 or 6 minute clip. Looked really good. Had all the classic weapons. Looks like a new enemy, which is cool, new cast, and then they say coming holiday 2016, so it is going to be a next year game. All they're doing this year is remastering the first one.
Yeah.
So it does suck when they do that. They're not like Bethesda when they're saying, well, I guess Bethesda kind of did. No, they didn't, because Dishonored 2 is coming spring next year.
Yeah.
But that being said, still a great way to end the show. I don't like knowing about games over a year ahead of time, but I mean, it is what it is. All right. So, of all that information that we just went over, what would you score Microsoft? Now, given you've scored Bethesda 9.1 because you're an idiot, and I scored at 8.5, which is the appropriate score. What do you give Microsoft, Matt?
If we took out HoloLens and Fable Legends, I would give them an 8.7, but because of HoloLens and Fable Legends, they're getting a 7.6.
A 7.6. You're
7.6.
very specific with
I
your
am.
numbers. I haven't given a lot of thought to it, but because Halo let me down a little bit, that lowered the score. But then Sea of Thieves, I'm gonna give it just a solid 8, because they did deliver on their promise of new IP, and they didn't have too much. And they did talk about indies at this game, but there's way too many to cover in even our normal podcast. But the way they did the indies was perfect. They showcased about 15 of them rapid fire in succession, and then they showcased about 5 or 6 of them very quickly with the developers, and it was over in probably 10 or 15 minutes, which is all that needs to be said about indie games. Not that I'm not a big fan of them, obviously, as people who watch the show and listen to the show know I love indie games, but that's not what E3 is about. It's about throwing your blockbusters out there and showing people your heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Pretty much it?
Yeah. That's it.
All right. We'll be back later today with EA and Ubisoft as they will be going, and then our podcast after that will follow. Thank you very much.
3, 2, 1.